I mean, there's a lot of good people that I met out there and, you know, from all different parts of the United States, which was good.
Agree.
Yeah, I remember Morris making me run around the fraternity house for chewing tobacco. I used to chew snuff, and I don't know if you remember, I spit stuff on the street, and you made me run around the block and not to do that again. So
I hear you.
yeah,
Mr. Stebbins,
Good evening. How are you guys?
Hey,
oh
we're
boy,
Good,
doing
you?
fine. How are you doing?
Hanging in there. No problem. Life is good.
You've been behaving yourself?
Best I can.
Why at our age?
Yeah.
Mr. Stebbins treated me to one of the best times I've ever had in Chicago.
Oh,
You remember we went to the Playboy Club?
I do.
Yeah,
That was a good time.
yeah, it was.
I did.
You took the country boy right to the city.
And you liked it, right?
Yeah, I sure did. I still have the picture
Oh, do you?
of the shooting bumper pool. So, yeah,
I'll post that sometime. I'd like to see it.
yeah, I will. I'll dig it out and I'll send it to you. I'll send you a copy of it. Yeah, yeah. So, I was saddened to see that Steve passed away. He was a good guy.
Who's
Steve,
Steve?
yeah, he lived right outside of Chicago.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, everybody. Dick Brock, how are you?
Hey, who's that?
Hey, when do you invite me down to Florida?
Well, you can come down anytime you want to come down, you old bagger.
Yeah. All right, Troika and I'll drive down.
I don't think Chork is mad at me. You know,
He's mad at me too, so.
yeah, well, he used to use my house as a place to stay over for the football game. And then when he found out that I was moving to Florida, he stopped talking to me. So
Where in Florida are you?
I'm at Winter Garden, right outside Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah. We've been here now 6 years. So right after my wife and I retired. So
Oh, there's Sam.
Sam Blades, where is Sam Blades?
Oh, I see him. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
How you been?
Hanging in there. Excuse me.
It's almost birthday time, Robert.
Yes, it is. You're a year older, I remember.
I know. Hey, you'll never be as old as me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Who am I looking at now? Who is that?
Are you still driving the Corvettes?
Oh, Sam or me? Oh, Sam.
Sam.
No, I haven't had a Corvette since since a couple years after I got out of the Army. So that's long ago.
You remember
No,
Who
that?
is this I'm talking to?
You
Yeah, but did
remember
you
that?
get that new Tesla yet?
Yeah.
Did you get your
Yes,
Tesla?
I did. I got it February the 23rd. I'm still like on a high with the thing. It's the best car I've ever owned. It's fabulous. I can't say enough good things about it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm taking my first road trip next week. I'm driving down to La Valette in it, so I'll see how it handles. You know how it works as far as what kind of mileage I get with electricity. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it
Raced
going to be?
anybody yet? Sam,
I'm
have you
sorry?
raced anybody?
Have I
Raced
raced anybody?
Yeah.
No, but I tell you what, it can kill a lot of people. I mean, it's fast. It really is. You don't realize what initial power it has. It's fabulous. It really is. It's just so different than a gas operated engine. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But if you told me this time last year that I was going to have an electric car, I would go, "You're nuts."
Sam, you remember that cross country trip you and I took in your vet?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was digging out pictures last week, Barry, for to send to Morris, and I came across our trip, which I didn't think anybody would be interested in. So, but it was kind of like we look so much younger.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have several other people. I know Pete LaBella said he's gonna come in, but probably not till about 8:30. And I believe Mark Masterson was going to come in, join us. So I think there's several more people that over the next, 15 minutes or so, hopefully will come in.
Okay.
I'd spoken with Barry, my cousin, and he said he would be coming in.
Yeah, Barry's been to all of them so far.
Run.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Look at
John.
Hey,
that.
Ron, how are you?
Please turn around and look at that.
John, can you hear us?
Don, me, yeah.
You. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're the only
something
one on
keeps
the street right
interrupting
now
on
named John.
I couldn't hear the John.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to my free meal.
Well, when you come to visit,
Well, my grandson's narrowed his choices down to Illinois, West Virginia, and Pitt.
well, hell, if you get here, you got one.
Well, that's what I figured. I knew, it cost me less to go to a game then.
Yeah.
No,
So, yeah, we've got I'm going to bring
Is he-
up a video that I put together. I'm sorry, I'm sure Sav will be here too, I think. But at any rate, I put together a video with a little puzzle in it for you guys. And we'll wait a little while and I'll bring that up.
Hope you didn't make it too hard.
Oh, it isn't. All you got to do is look very carefully at it. So, but I'll bring it up in about 15 minutes. And also, I want to mention several guys. Andy Abley is not going to be in. He's down in Florida right now. And he told me he wouldn't be here, but several guys, Andy, Pete, I've gotten from Tom, I think you said something, and Dan, pictures and so forth. Ron, you just said something.
Yeah.
I'm going to take all of those together as I get them. And, when I get a bunch, then I'll put together a slideshow with all of them. And we'll bring them in because some guys are sending some good pictures and some good memories. So we'll put those together once we get them all in. I won't be, one thing I'll mention in August, we're taking our whole family on a cruise. And so for August, I won't be here for this, but if somebody wants to run it, I'll give them the information to log in on my account and I'll set up the meeting ahead of time and all they have to do is go ahead and start it. So if there's anybody that wants to do that.
Morris, Morris, that's so far off that won't be talking to each other by then.
What?
You're still a pistol.
Oh, well, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Val, I got to ask Val to unmute.
I'm going to unmute. I just got here home and I will, I'm going to take off for about 10, 15 minutes, then I'll be back on.
Right next to me. That's Gary.
That's Gary.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And John
Hi,
Cola.
hi, fellas. I'm his
Hello.
wife.
That's
Hi.
Rosemary.
I
Hey,
can't,
Rosemary.
Hi.
Down so we can see
I
you.
can't see her.
That's okay. You don't want to see me. I
Oh,
get to
come on.
see you.
Come on.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to get down lower. My
Oh, sit
leg
on
hurts
Morris's
so
lap.
great. Wait a minute. Let's see. You still can't.
There she is.
Where?
Pretty as ever.
Oh, there. Okay, yes. How you doing, fellas?
Very good.
Doing well.
Rosemary,
How long have you guys been married?
This will be 52 years.
oh my God.
Are you gonna make it?
Tomorrow it'll be 50 for us.
Yeah.
Good.
52 years,
Wonderful.
52 years married and 56 years together.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long
She
time.
must really love you, Morris, to put up with you.
I do.
Either that or she has short-term memory and doesn't remember everything.
Oh.
I gotta tell you guys another story about Morris.
Oh, okay.
I gotta tell you another story about Morris and Rose. When I had lunch with these guys last summer, and Morris was telling me that he wasn't a very good student, and I didn't remember that. I always thought he was a good student. Come to find out, Rose was pushing him along and doing all his work for him, which I think that was really nice, and that's a loving person. That's really nice.
Well,
Yeah.
all I can say to that is that semester I had gotten a letter from Hiram Scott at the beginning of the semester in '66 telling me if I didn't have at least a 1.4 average at the end of the semester, I was gone because they were doing the big purge at the end of that semester because Rosemary she walked me to class
to
to make sure I
class.
went.
And I sat outside the class too, to make sure he didn't scoot out.
At the end of that semester, I had a 1.41 average.
Wow.
All right, let's hear it for hitting that to goal, huh?
Wow.
I think we probably all had those kind of grade points when we were admitted to HSC.
Yeah.
I know I did. Mine was pretty bad.
Yeah. But by the end, I was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thing is,
I
it
just
took
told Dave Brock, I said, when I got to Hiram Scott, I made a pact with God that
Okay.
if he let me out with my degree, I promised not to come back. And I got my degree and I never went back for a master's or, I kept my end of the promise. And things worked out because it was a tremendous school. It really was.
Yeah, it worked. Listen, I get a lot of comments from brothers as I put this thing together, on emails that say, it saved my life.
Yes.
Winston Churchill, Butch, has said that, Pete and a number of people, Andy Abley's, me, all of us said the same thing.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys
was
back. You take
Well, it
care.
was nice seeing you. It was great seeing you.
It was good seeing all
Take
of you.
care, Rose.
too. Take care now.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Rose.
Take care.
Yeah, I
Is
think
Danny
Val is
on?
having trouble.
Is
Connect.
Danny on still on the broadcast?
Yeah, there he is. You mean my brother-in-law? Hey, he had a birthday last week. He turned 79.
Who?
What?
Danny, he didn't turn 79.
Oh, close to it.
Yeah,
I
right.
will say this, that
There he
if it
is.
hadn't been for fraternity, I'd have never stayed in school.
Well, we had a hard time keeping you there.
The first time Barry and I flew out of Philadelphia, we sat in our seats and we were flying into Denver. And the first thing he did, he looked at me, he says, "How the hell did you ever talk me into this?" We got to Denver and we got on a flight to Scotts Bluff. And there's a priest sitting there doing the rosary and having a Bible, reading it. And I tapped Barry on the shoulder. I said, "Do you think he knows more than we do about this flight?" And, it was a good time. It really was. And Ed Parker and I were roommates at our first school for a year, up at Rider College up in Trenton, New Jersey, outside Trenton. And that night we were standing in the cafeteria waiting for luggage or whatever, and all I heard was, "Jonesy." I said, "Oh shit, that's Parker." And I hadn't seen him in like 3 years. And yeah, Ed and I became good friends.
Yeah.
And, it was a great time. Great time.
Yep. In '65, when the Skinner Hall opened up, my parents brought me out and dropped me off because I didn't have a car the first year. And they left and I walked next door and there was a keg party going on.
My kind of place then, huh?
If you remember, the bus used to stop right in Skinner Hall, like the Greyhound.
Yeah.
And right across the street was this bar. So I went into the bar to have a beer. And when I walked in, there's these peanut shells and all over the floor and everything else. And I asked the bartender, I says, why don't you sweep these shells up? He said, pal, it soaks up the blood in the beer. And no sooner he said that, a blood broke out in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had the pleasure of living in Skinner Hall. That I was always up on the other side.
Well, Skinner, they built because they figured if the college went down within a couple of years, they could turn it into a motel. That's why the rooms had front and back doors, and each room had its own bathroom because they had contingency plans to turn it into a motel.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That was the first time I ever flew was when I went to Scotts Bluff. 20 years old.
Hmm.
Never been on a plane before.
I'd been on a plane, but never that far. Go to Florida and back. But, yeah.
I can't understand. It was a garden spot of the country. I mean, I'm surprised you guys didn't come visit.
No.
Well, what about those car trips from Scotts Bluff to the East Coast? There'd be 5 of us in a car, stopping to gas, and if you had to go to the bathroom, you better be back in the car when it's ready to go. And
Oh, straight through.
Straight, I was go straight through. And
1,800 miles
Yep.
from here.
What was the best time anybody made it in?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think
when we-
Chicago in 16 hours. Straight through.
Well, it was about 35 hours or 36 hours.
Wow.
When we first started going, it was like 38 because Interstate 80 wasn't totally completed. You'd have to get
Right.
off and take side roads out, and then you could get back on a stretch of it and go out. So it took about 38 hours nonstop. And there were, I've done it 1 in a car, 2 in a car, 3 in a car, 4 in a car, and 5 in a car
Yeah.
with Barry. And yeah, so it took about 36, 35 hours, something like that.
Wow.
I rode back to Philadelphia with Bob Luft in his Volkswagen Bug, and every time we stop, I'd have to get out and push it because the starter was out. So after I pushed it about 10 times, I told Bob, I said, how come I'm always the one pushing it and you're never gonna push it? He said, because it's my car.
Remember in Terrytown, halfway between Scotts Bluff and Gary, they had an auction. And they would auction off everything. I mean, you could get doors, you could buy cars. There were some brothers, not in Teak, but in another one that were famous for, they would buy a car for $200, buy a case of oil and throw it in it. And when they got to Philadelphia, they'd pull the license plates off of it and fly back.
Wow.
Well,
Gary, you with Barry, the one time we drove together, my car and his car, and we're driving about 90 miles an hour through Nebraska, got pulled over by the state police. And they took us off-road to some community judge, and we paid fines out of our pockets, and they made change out of their pockets and sent us on our way. Bunch of crooks.
What did you ever do, Bob, with that? It was a 68 Buick, no,
I had a
Oldsmobile.
54 Buick.
That was one gorgeous car.
Yeah,
That
well,
black Buick, black
Oh, that was-
Oldsmobile.
that was an Olds. Yeah, it was a 64 Olds.
64?
Yeah, that was a good car.
Yes, it was.
you talk about the state police. Do you remember getting off of 80? There's a little town called Paxton, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
remember.
I spent a night in jail there in Paxton, Nebraska, for drunken and disorderly because the bar by there they had, you walked in and they had the animal heads on one side of the wall, and you go on the other side where you eat, they had the rear ends matching the heads. And so I was raising all kind of hell about that, and they dragged me into Paxton, Nebraska jail.
That was Ollie's Big Game Bar.
Huh?
Ollie's Big Game Bar.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I've
Paxton.
been- I've
Was
been
you
there.
was you with us at that time?
No, but I've been there. And I got done without going to jail, so I'm good.
Well, if you ever get thrown in jail there, my name's on the wall there, unless they voiced it off.
Does anybody remember that bar on the border of Wyoming and Nebraska? And half the bar was in Nebraska and the other half was in Wyoming.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
had Closing times. I think it was called.
Fireworks stand now.
It was a real cowboy joint.
You ain't kidding. We got
We
another
were
2
only
hours
like
of
10
drinking.
miles from Wyoming. And
So the
that
other
was
side of
probably,
Henry.
yeah.
Bob,
No, I don't think that bar's going anymore, is it? It was the state line bar, but I think it's up now.
Hi, Bob.
Sorry I'm late. I was busy watching Michigan lose in overtime in the Frozen Four.
Ah,
Not a good day for the Wolverines.
Yeah, well,
Let's see, how do I get to see everybody?
well, who can you see?
We can
We
see
got
you.
11 people. What's that?
Who can you see?
I said, we can see you.
Yeah, why don't I see everybody else?
Go up
I
on
can
the
see
right hand-
Bob
Go
here,
up on the
Joe.
right-hand side, Bob.
What's that?
Go up on the right-hand side and click the view up there on the right-hand side.
I see something that says participants.
It should be. It should say view right by it.
mhm.
No. Come on.
Who do you see, Bob?
I see you right now, Morris.
Oh, well, that's all you need.
You're right. I don't see a word that says view though.
Bob, do you still live in Pittsburgh?
Oh, no, I've been in Detroit. Well, I live north of Detroit, about 35 miles north of Detroit. Yeah, 25 miles north.
My brother lived in Royal Oak for 4 years.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I live in Rochester Hills.
Okay.
Val,
I
you
guess
haven't
my-
changed a bit.
There he is.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
I was talking to
Yeah.
Val.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
You haven't been to an eye doctor lately, huh?
No, I'd recognize you anywhere. I still see you with those crutches, beer surfing in the dining room and diving out the window.
Yikes.
No wonder you got all busted up. So,
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and run this video. To do that, I gotta share my screen. So I will do that and then I'll bring this video over. You can take a look at it. Afterwards it'll be on for the other guys. All right, so let me share my screen. And I want this one. Okay, and now I'll bring this one over. All right, you should be able to see, it says Hiram Scott College.
Oh, yeah.
67, you can see that?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So Brothers in the Bond, a bond hidden in plain sight. So. It's running.
Huh, Andy.
Andy,
Andy,
Bob, you look different.
Robert,
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Curtis?
There it is.
Yeah,
Anybody know where he is?
No,
Dale.
yeah. There's
Sammy.
Steve.
Herb,
Jimmy Sullivan.
yep.
John?
Yeah, I thought Kaufman was going to be on tonight.
Yeah.
Textron. Oh my God. Les Friedman.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Andy,
Who's that young man?
who's that?
Perry,
Who's that?
Dickie Walker,
Nicola.
Steve Andrews.
Durando. Yeah.
What's
Durando.
Durando?
And
Bob?
Love,
Bob,
Evans,
Bob? Who that?
What year were these pictures, Mark?
1967
Barry.
yearbook.
Barry,
1967.
There's a crew cut guy.
there's Morris, Ron, Sav,
Steve Shapiro,
yep,
Rick Hirsch.
yep. Chernicki,
Yeah.
Ron. Mm,
Mike Sedlak.
Sedlak, yeah.
Right now, does anybody know what the answer is to the question, what was the bond? It was hidden in plain sight in that video.
Give us a hint.
Attention, the United States Federal Reserve is having a meeting on May 3rd, and a decision is going to be coming out.
Anybody know what it was?
No.
guess you're gonna have to tell us.
I'll give you a hint. It's something that I personally could not commit to at this point, but Gary Jones could.
Gary could.
Yeah, Gary's a member, but I'm not. I was then. But Gary was not. Now there's a puzzle for you.
You win.
Tell us.
That's something. You were and I wasn't. Then I was and you weren't.
Right. I was in 67, you weren't. But here we are, 22.
Was that a pledge,
I'm not.
pledge master?
No,
Not a pledge master.
no.
A
I think you guys are thinking way too deep.
Yeah, that's us, a bunch of deep thinkers.
Yeah.
never
The
thought of
hell
myself
can't
as
they
that.
get this?
John is halfway there. Well, I'll tell you. Out of everybody there were only 4 people, and Gary was one of them, who didn't have that characteristic. Everybody else, out of the about 60 guys that were there in those 2 pictures, parted their hair on the left.
They can't do that now.
Those-
Yeah.
I think Gary parts his hair on the left now. I don't.
I do.
Yeah, I figured I'd
What I have left.
important.
Mm.
Oh,
Uh,
how did you come up with that?
well, I photographed I scanned the pictures in, and as I was doing it, it just struck me that everybody parts their hair on the left, everybody. You know, there were only 4 guys out of 68 that did not park their hair on the left. Gary had a crew cut. So he
Right.
didn't was there at all. But, and there were 3 other guys that didn't part it on the left.
Hmm.
So
I'm still trying to find a view. Why can't I get you guys?
You look good. Oh, he disappeared.
now he's messing
Dave
with,
Brock, where are you now? Where do you live now, Dave Brock?
I'm on Winter Garden, Florida. We're right outside of north of Orlando, about 10 miles.
Oh, okay. Okay. Know where it is. Yep.
Yeah, we
Did you live in Annapolis before that?
yeah, we lived 40 years in Annapolis. And then
Oh.
when my wife and I retired, we decided to come to Florida. I wanted to go to Colorado, but she won. We came to Florida. So,
Oh, I guess we know who's in charge.
well, you know, it didn't take too much to find that out. I mean, but
Bouncy
Florida, everybody thinks coming to Florida is a dream, but you coming from north down here, it takes a good 3 or 4 years to get accustomed to everything down here. It's so different. I mean, it's just like a different world.
Pensacola, where are you living now? Where are you?
Me, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
yeah,
Yep.
but he couldn't get his visa to get out.
Hey, I never moved more than 6 miles from where I was born.
Where was that at?
New Kensington, right down the road here.
Yeah. My hometown was Canonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Believe it or
was
not,
that?
I was born in Scotts Bluff.
I grew up about 5 miles from here. I didn't move far when I came back.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it takes me about 15 minutes to get into where the Eagles play and the 76ers and to cross the bridge and get to the ballpark. Takes about 15 minutes max into Philadelphia. So
Well, I guess I'm a gypsy because I've lived in 9 states.
Yeah.
Or how many different cities too. Grand Rapids, Bob, for you, Burrell.
Yeah, yep, nice city. I sure wish I could see all you guys. I don't know what my problem is.
I don't know, Bob. Are you on an iPad or a computer? Or?
No, I'm on an iPad. And I look up in the right-hand corner and I see a mute, stop video, share content, participants.
Click on
I
participant.
can't believe I can't. Yeah, I tried that. It says there are 11 of us,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't show everybody. It lists who's here.
What about you, Sam? Are you on an iPad?
What about me?
Are you on an iPad?
I'm on an iPad. Yep.
What's your
Yes,
Sam?
I am.
And you can see everybody.
I can see everybody. Yes.
What's it say up in
And
the
so
corner?
what did you click on?
There was nothing in my corner. Oh, wait a minute. It says mute, stop
Yeah.
video, share content, participants, and more.
Yeah. So what did you hit to get everybody in there?
I found view. I found if you have a strip up above, put your
Here we
cursor
go.
up there.
I got it.
It says
Gallery.
view.
This gallery view. It's over
Yeah.
on the left. Okay. I'm always late to the party.
If you have a grandson, call him.
There you go.
Yeah.
My grandson's
I'm
my
good
techie.
now. So where's her? Well, John Sokola, I'm glad to see you tonight. We haven't seen you in a while. Where's
Yeah, missed the
where's
last
like
one.
Herzog? What's that?
I missed the last one.
Yeah. Where's Labella and Hawkins?
Peter's probably
Herzog?
watching the Ranger game tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't waste my time doing that.
No, they're in first place or second place. They're probably kicking the Penguins' ass.
Well, everybody's kicking Detroit's.
Well,
I had started this project and then I got sidetracked. I was looking up all the professors that we had at Hiram Scott, and I should have written them down. You guys, who would you say was your favorite professor there?
Robinson,
Who?
Robinson, he taught
Right.
zoology.
Who's a political science guy?
Stromer.
Who's
His
that?
name was Strom, I believe.
Yeah, I like
Strummer.
him. Strummer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
Professor.
I like Dr. Manley.
Yeah, man.
Economics.
Yeah, I love.
How about the
man.
economics professor?
that was
Henderson? Dr.
I
Henderson?
think you're right.
Yeah. I learned more from him probably than anybody. He was good.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just got noticed that Coach Fisher, Ken Fisher, just passed away a couple months ago.
Who's that?
Coach Fisher, he was the offensive coach football team. He just passed away.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You guys, one of the things I want to do is have everybody put together a list of people, brothers that, they knew or were in contact with, or are missing if you're looking for anybody. And then I'll put together an entire list of here's guys everybody's looking for, because it may be that some of you know somebody, or where they are or how to contact them. And we can get a few more people in here. If you see a list of, who we're looking for, you might also, like, for instance, I don't know, I was looking for Terry Riley, Jim Villano. There were a number of people that I was looking for that I haven't been able to find, and who knows, maybe somebody else would have information about them. So if we share, people that we're looking for, maybe we'll find some more.
Yeah.
How many people do you really have tracked already?
Right now in this list, there are 29, including myself.
Okay.
And there are about, let me see, there are about, let me just open it up and I can tell you. There are Bernie Law, Dennis Manwaring, Lee Rancourt, Paul Shelton. We need contact information for. I think they're still alive. And then there's a list of people who are deceased. It's in that spreadsheet that I sent you out.
Yeah.
And but maybe we can, if anybody knows contact information for Bernie or Dennis or Lee or Paul. I don't know whether they're alive or not. And I've been looking for them, but anybody, if you want, I can put together a list from 66 up through all the way up through 70. I have the yearbooks for, and I can put together a list of everybody that was in those yearbooks. I was missing 69. I don't have 69. I have 66, 67, 68, and 70. Because 69, I was gone.
Did any of you guys graduate in 68?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary did.
I
Gary
did.
did, okay.
Barry Bodine, Sav. I could pull my yearbook out quick, but yeah, I know those Us three did.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
graduate
I
in
was-
68, Bob?
What year
Yeah.
did you
Bob,
graduate?
you graduated in 68?
Which Bob?
Burrell.
What year did you graduate?
68.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I went year round. I didn't go home for the summer.
In between my junior and senior, I had to go home, earn some money to come back, but, yeah, other than when I went out there, I stayed out pretty much. most of
You
the
know,
summer.
when Hiram got started, one of their advertisements was that it was unique because it was a trimester system. And a motivated student could graduate in 2 2/3 years and get their bachelor's. It's one of their big advertising things.
Well, I was slow. I had to go 3 years.
I did 4.
I was on a 6-year plan.
Yeah.
I did get out in 3 though, 3 additional, so.
We need to find Paul, the guy that was a professional student, Morris. You
Paul
remember his
Hazel.
name.
Paul Hazel.
What's Paul Hazel?
Hazel, yeah. Paul's idea on
I
a,
wonder how many schools.
like you said, Bob.
Anybody know Roger May? I know he wasn't a brother, but
Yeah, I do.
have you stayed in touch with him?
No, I haven't. I tried to find him a couple of times and
So have I.
I don't know
And
where.
I sent a letter out to him and I never got the letter back and I never had him give me a call.
Yeah. No, he was in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to fly airplane back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. He, one time, 2 times I was with Roger and his planes. One time we went coyote hunting. And we were out north of Scotts Bluff in the wintertime. And we saw blood in the snow. So we landed that plane. He had 2 planes. And that one was a little tail dragger, 2-person tail dragger. And we didn't see anything to shoot. Got back on the plane and took off, started to take off. And we were going over the prairie as fast as it could go because there was about 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground. And the plane couldn't get going fast enough. We kept going over the hills, not knowing what was on the other side. We finally able to take off. And then another time he had his father's plane and it was a bigger plane and he dived. I was head resident of Vanguard at that time and he dive bombed the dorm and I was ready to let it all go. And all of a sudden he pulled up and then he looked over at me and said, "Gee whiz, I didn't think I was going to be able to pull that one out." That was the last time I went up with him.
That's reassuring.
No, but do you remember one time I flew into Grand Island? Rosemary flew into Grand Island after New Year's.
Yeah.
Roger flew the Cessna 182, the 4-seater, up from Colorado to Grand Island.
Yeah.
And then you got in. And then we took off. And you didn't know it at the time, but Roger told me he was having trouble with the magneto on his way in. And he says, "I hope we make the fence at the end of this runway." So we took off. He and I were up front, and you and Rose were in the back. And once we got it up in the air, he turned around and was just talking to you two, and I was flying the plane.
No, I didn't know that.
And then all of a sudden, you realized it, that I was actually flying the plane. And they're very simple to use.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. We flew back to Scotts Bluff, dropped everything off. Then we had to fly the plane back into Colorado and get the Cessna 150, the 2-seater. And we flew back to school.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he
Wouldn't
had
have
been in
had
the Air
that
Force for 4 or
in a
5.
lot of colleges. You know,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was trying to get a hold of him and I haven't been able to yet.
No,
Is anybody on Facebook? I'm not, but I understand that's a way you can connect with people that you normally can't connect with. We're talking about people like Jim Roberto, Steve Edwards, Jay Weir, John Archibald, Fran Hoover. Remember Zoltan Szabo used to use the 50-cent words?
My little brother.
Oh, is that your little brother, Zoltan?
Yeah.
But these
Well,
are people, but I don't know how to connect with them either.
yeah. Well, some of those guys are like Bernie Laws is on, and I thought he was gonna, come in this time, but
He was friends with Steve Edwards and Dennis Manwaring. I don't know if they're still connecting or not, but
yeah.
Hey, whatever happened to Zoltan Szabo? Does anybody have any, anybody know?
No.
I have no idea.
He's kind of
He was
dropped
from
off.
Danny, wasn't he from Western New York?
Who was
Zoltan-
that?
Zoltan Szabo.
That
Remember
big
he
I
club.
don't remember.
Big
Called away
club.
with his 50-cent words.
I don't remember where he's from.
I think he's from like Wellsville or so. Anyway,
What was the
I don't
name-
even remember it.
What was the name of that guy that owned the Saint Bernard?
Oh,
Andy Hawkins. Hawkins used to chase that dog down the road and throw rocks at it all the time.
I'm
I
sure he had a
can't remember.
Budweiser in his hand.
Oh, God.
What
good
about
thing I
Andy?
never
How come he
drank
isn't
when I
on
was
here?
out there.
I don't know. I've talked to Andy a couple of times. I told him about getting on, but he didn't say whether he would or wouldn't, so.
Oh, God. It was a trip.
Yeah, he doesn't respond to me on Facebook much either. I wish him happy birthday and, get into the football games, but he just doesn't seem to respond.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he doesn't
Did that a
go.
lot on,
Hey, John Sokola, you still called the Duke?
I still like the Duke, but
Right
Still
now, he
have
just
some-
want to be the Duke.
How
Yeah.
about 105 Allerton Road?
that's exactly the same
Burrell,
place. That's
Pennsylvania?
where I'm talking from, 105 Allerton Road.
This is a compilation of everybody that was a member at the time. We had a reunion down in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sam,
And
that's the book I gave you.
Yes, I'm going to pick it up when I'm down in Jersey next
And,
week, Mark.
yeah, it has everybody. Bob Burrell, okay, 222 Farm Street, Millis, Massachusetts.
that was
Um,
a long time ago.
yeah,
Well, Bob, I think when that book was put out, it was an alumni in the early 70s. And
Yeah,
you were
this
president
was-
of the Alumni Association.
this was 1975
Okay.
when we had the reunion, the
Yep.
Holiday Inn down there. Mike
And then-
Bollinger, Barry and I put this together.
I never
And
knew you had a reunion.
it was in 75, yeah.
Yeah, we took over the swimming pool. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah,
we
I
were
didn't
drinking from the time we got up till the time we went to bed.
Yeah.
Dave, I only lived about 35 miles north of him and I didn't even know about it. I guess I lost touch with everybody for a while.
In 75?
Yeah.
You were living there?
I moved out here in 70. We got married in 70 and I moved out here in the fall of 70. And
Well, we even we had Paul Sheldon.
yeah,
Well,
There's a guy
I mean,
I'd
a lot
like to
of-
see.
we must have had 25 or 30 people,
yeah.
but
At that
we tried to
point,
get a hold of whoever we could.
yeah, at that point I was hanging around with Jim Villano and Mike Esposito and a few guys from North Jersey.
Horace, what did you, if you graduated in 68, what did you do, or where were you from 68 to 70? Were you still in Scotts Bluff?
No, I I had gotten word that I was going to get drafted. One of my close friends
Yeah.
from high school's mother was on the draft board. She said, tell him. So Gary and I went to Fort Collins and joined a reserve unit.
I see.
I was then waiting to go for active duty for reserves and didn't go. And so I dropped out in 69, 68 and 69, late 68 and early 69, dropped out and moved back to New Jersey, and then went for my active duty for the reserves, then came back and in 70, finished my last semester.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I stayed in the reserves for 27 years. So I'm retired, actually, from the Army. So
Yeah, so is Sam.
Me too.
You're
Yep.
not retired from the Army.
yeah,
How long were you
No,
in?
yes, I went to, I joined the reserves in the mid-70s, Bob.
Oh, you stayed in. Oh, okay, sorry.
I didn't stay in. I went back in the mid-70s and, tried it for a weekend, and I go, well, this isn't that bad. And I stayed, and just kind of stayed and ended up staying 20 years. So
Wow.
worked out pretty good.
yeah.
Nice
It was
Worked out pretty good.
September 16th of 1968, when Morris and I got into that unit down in Colorado, combat engineer
Yep.
unit. Yeah. And I just stayed in. And when I moved back
Did you-
to the East Coast, I got into a unit. So,
Did you go back to New Jersey when you graduated?
no, Morris's dad and I spent about a year working on a project. And then I went back to New Jersey after that. And I got into banking.
Oh, okay.
I was in banking 7 years.
Okay.
And then I was bored with that. So I got into transportation, into the trucking side of the business, and not driving. I was in operations, sales, management type of thing. So,
Well, Gary, I remember you and Morris were looking into farm irrigation at one time. Did that
Mhm.
ever go anywhere?
Well, that's what
I
Gary
don't-
did. I didn't do it.
no,
My
Morris
father did.
because he was still going to school
Oh,
Yeah.
and doing that. It was Morris's dad and myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know because I didn't stay. We had sort of shut the thing down for the winter. And I went out and I worked for Colorado State University. And I was out there for about 6-8 months. And I decided if I was going to stay in university life, I had to go back, get a master's and doctorate and the whole bit. And I had made that promise with God that I wouldn't come back. And so I moved back to the East Coast and got into banking and then into transportation.
Yeah.
So,
When I graduated in 70, Rosemary graduated 2 years before I did. She graduated in 68. So when I
Right.
graduated, she was already back here teaching. I had a choice of, let's see, she can come out here where neither one of us have a job, or I could go out there where at least she has a job and I can find one. So I moved to Jersey and found I was a science major with a history minor and English minor, no science jobs. And I found a job as a science teacher. Did that for 14 years, then left and went to work for Continental Insurance in their systems division, and did that until CNA bought him, and retired as a CIO 20 years later from CNA. And then had a web development company that I had part-time when I was working, full-time after I retired for 20 years, and sold that a few years ago. So now I don't do anything I don't want to.
And Danny, are you still in Dallas?
Yeah, I'm just north of Dallas.
Yeah.
The weather's good. I play golf every day.
Are you any good?
Attaboy.
Well, certain days I'm pretty good and certain days I'm not, but my scorecard always shows that I play good.
All right.
Okay.
You have those pre-printed?
You take after your brother-in-law.
Tom, are you in Nebraska or are you vacationing somewhere else now?
No, we're still wintering down in Florida, but yeah, we have a place in Nebraska in Gary, right outside Scottsbluff.
When you were the state police, did you travel around the state, or were you always in the western Nebraska area?
Oh, for the most part, I was in western Nebraska. I did a stunt. They called me into Lincoln a time or two to do some fill-ins, but for the most part, I was in western Nebraska. We spent a lot of time on the road back and forth to Lincoln for meetings, but yeah, Scottsbluff was my home base out there.
Did you start right away, right out of college for the state police?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I did. I was going to go back to Pennsylvania and get on the state police back there. Met a nurse out in Nebraska and waiting for her to graduate. He said, well, I'll just throw in an application here for a year or two, and the year or two turned into 30 plus. So that's how that went.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
If I remember correctly, Tom, I think you pulled us over on the road going to Scotts Bluff, and you found out that we were Hiram Scott alumni, and you just give us a warning ticket.
That could have been, Dave. I don't remember. I remember running into you down at the truck stop in Ogallala one time. We were down. Yeah. You came over the table. You were passing through.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That truck stop. 2 eggs, hash browns, and toast and coffee for what was
50
it?
cents.
Trucktown? Yeah. Trucktown, they tore it down here not too long ago. The building stood for a long time.
Yeah. Paul Treka came in my room one time and said, let's go to the Trucktown. I said, okay. And he had a trench coat on, so I didn't pay much attention to it. We went out there and we were eating. He took his trench coat off. He didn't have any clothes on. I thought we were all going to go to jail. And the waitress was screaming and yelling. You know.
Who was that? Paul Troika?
Yeah, Paul Troika. Yeah.
Ron, are you playing golf with Troika and Marachi?
Well, I was. Paul stopped calling me, so I'm playing mostly with Rich, but I'll get back in Paul's good graces. He'll call me like a day before and say, can you play tomorrow? I'll say, no, and then he gets mad and he hangs up and all this stuff. So yeah, so I still connect with him, you know.
Paul's a funny dude. He used to come to Annapolis for the football games and stay at my house. And then when he found out that I was moving to Florida, he stopped talking to me. So I guess my house was more important to him than me.
Or baseball, whatever that.
He was kind of a free spirit.
I think he still is.
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone when we were setting these up, and he told me he didn't do anything with computers, and he didn't do anything he wanted to, and he wasn't married, and he just did whatever he felt like doing when he felt like doing it.
Where is he now? Is he still up in Erie? Where's Troika?
He lives in Reading.
Okay.
Bob Burrell, do you still play golf a lot?
Oh, off and on. I'm having rotator cuff surgery tomorrow, so it's going to be off for 6 months.
Well, I had the right shoulder done a year ago, January, and I'm not quite riding motorcycle yet. Rotator cuff surgery.
Yeah, they tell me it takes a while.
Yeah, it does.
It'll take a while.
I had both.
Good luck with it.
I had both of them done, rotator cuff, and it was about 16 months before I was totally back.
Wow.
So,
Well, that's what God invented Jim Rummy. If you can't play golf, you play Jim Rummy in the card room. So.
yeah.
When I was with CNA and Continental, because I was in senior management, I got to play in some of the best golf courses in the country, and in London and that area and so forth. I don't like golf. I was never any good at it, but I didn't have any choice. I had to play. As soon as I retired, I sold my golf clubs.
Well, good luck, Bob, with it. The surgery tomorrow.
Oh, thanks. It'll work out.
Yeah.
It'll give me one more excuse as to why my game's so bad. I'll tell you what, the older you get, the better you thought you were when you were young. It just seems like you weren't quite as good as you really thought you were.
Yeah, but
I
nobody.
was never any good at golf.
I played a lot of it from time I was 12, but not much anymore, maybe once a year in a tournament type of.
One time I was playing like 70 rounds a year. Those were the good old days.
That's a lot of golf.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of golf.
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody in college playing golf.
Mom did.
Well, actually, that's actually the reason I came there. Was the football coach's name Butcher or Butcher?
Yeah, Dick Busher. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he called me and wanted me to come and play there. And I saw the team they had, and they weren't as good as my high school team. So I said, to hell with that. I'll just go to school and work. It's a waste of time. Plus, I wasn't used to hitting off all that flat ground out there in Pennsylvania. We got all hills, and you never get a flat lie. It took me a long time to hit a ball off a flat lie.
You come down to Florida down here, and our courses here, I stopped using a driver. I use a 2-iron because you're so straight, so flat. You hit that zinger and it rolls. It just keeps rolling and rolling. So,
Are any of you guys close to West Milford, New Jersey?
Milford.
West Milford. My research assistant out here is telling me that Jim Villano, according to, I guess, Google, is in that area. I didn't know if any. Yeah. Don't have a phone number or anything. I just know I have a town.
Yeah. Look, one of the problems with people like Jim is the name's so common, you know, that it gets difficult to find.
Do any of you guys, I got married when I was in Hiram, Scott. Do any of you guys remember my wife?
Yes.
Her name was Jan.
Jan, yeah.
Definitely.
Do any of you guys remember her?
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
You had that
remember-
white sports car.
yeah, I remember you pulling out of Scotts Bluff in that white sports car, and she was on the passenger and you were behind the wheel.
And that Datsun.
Yeah.
You see the Datsun?
After I got that, which was another stupid mistake I made. Well, we had an agreement. She would keep me out of the Army and I'd get her out of Scotts Bluff. That's kind of our agreement.
Are you still married?
No, that lasted about 15 years. Yeah. We had 2 kids. But after I had that little sports, I don't know what the hell I thought I was doing buying a 2-seater sports car, because how the hell was I going to move all my shit with that little car when I was done?
It looked cool.
She tells me
It
about,
looked cool, Bob.
well, she told me about 4 weeks after I got that car, she was pregnant. So that car didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. But we lived all right, thanks to a lot of guys that were poor poker players in Skinner Hall. They paid for a trailer of mine.
Yeah.
Bob.
I thought.
I remember.
I always
remember
thought.
your
What's
roommate,
that? Yeah.
Your roommate Sharon. What was it, Ron Sharonecki?
Ron-
Sharonecki. He was a good poker player too. Yeah. He was a good
Yeah.
poker player too.
Ron. Yeah,
Hey, who,
the key to that is just find people that aren't as good as you are and you'll be all right. Doesn't make any difference what cards you get, just play with people who aren't as good as you are.
hey, I ran across some pictures the other day, somebody sent me, and it was a black hearse. And it said, "Shake for president" on the side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That was a
remember
fellow.
that.
That was a fellow from Massachusetts.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. He only stayed. I think he only stayed a semester or two. But he
Okay.
was from Massachusetts. Had that black hearse.
Yep. Yeah, because
They took that out. What was the lake?
yeah.
What was the lake?
Lake
Cemetery.
Menacre.
What was it?
Lake Menacre.
Lake. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went out there one night with that thing.
Yeah, they had, he had the floorboard in the back open on that, and he'd ice it down and fill it with beer and go to the driveway, go to the drive-in and park sideways. Sit on the couch.
It was a good time.
Well, I think Dan and John Sokola have kept their age really well. You guys look the best. You kept
That's
your
because
youth.
we were roommates.
Was that it? Really?
Yeah, we always worked out.
Well, you must have rubbed off on each other. You must have rubbed off on each other, huh?
I don't know. I didn't see him half that senior year. He got a girlfriend up north.
Yeah, that's what kept me young.
Yeah, it was like rooming alone. I saw him every once in a while.
So you had to live yourself.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Gentlemen, I gotta take off. I got stuff I gotta get done for tomorrow.
All right,
Hey,
Val.
nice seeing you again.
All right,
Say hello to
care.
Governor.
Val, take care.
Have a good
all
night.
right, Val. All right, thanks, guys.
Have a
Take
good
care.
night.
Ron Weller,
Yes,
are you retired?
yes, I am.
What do you do to keep busy? You look great, by the way.
I'm a part-time minister and I also play golf, and I'm a big college wrestling fan. I was just in Detroit a couple weeks ago, follow Penn State. I don't know if you guys follow amateur wrestling or not, but they're pretty damn good. So, yeah. So.
You were active with the
Be there
fire
for the
department a
big
long
thing.
time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Championship.
Yeah.
Are you
Hey,
still
Sam.
active with the fire department?
No, I just go in there to drink. They
Yes.
have the social hall. If you're a D member, what I am now, I just go in to drink.
Okay.
I don't put out any fires.
Sam, you got something covering your camera.
I'm sorry? Oh,
You got something covering your camera.
okay.
Right
Got
over
it.
your hand.
Like your arm.
How about now? All
I
right.
think it was his thumb.
Sorry.
That's what happened to me when I tried to take pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a high-tech guy here, so. I'm still trying to figure out my new car with it's very high-tech computer, so it's really keeps me on my toes.
Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm.
Can you go all the way from your house down to your new house, your other house with on one charge?
Yeah, it's got about a 400-mile range, so I
Okay.
can get down, and there's kind of charge places all over the place. So that's not really going to be a problem, I don't think.
Now, I know you got a charging station in your house. Are you going to put one down in Lavalette?
Probably not, because I'd really have to. The house I have is only wired for 110, so I'd have to redo the whole damn house to do that. So I probably won't do it down there now, because it would. I don't want to spend that kind of money. But there's a charging station in Seaside Heights, so
Okay.
we'll see how it works out. We'll see. But I do like it. I sold on electric cars.
Hey, Sam, what's your charging time on that car? I know,
I plug it in. It fully charges overnight. And it probably does it before that because I've never run it really down to where it's really almost out. I've only run it down about half charge. So I'd say probably 4 or 5 hours to fully charge it. But I do have a charge. I have a specific charger for the car though. So
we have at our local Walmart, they have it's kind of like a gas station, but it's a charging station for
Yeah.
electric cars. And we see them pull in there all the time and they'll park. They're out there and timed them, but is that like a fast charge station or what's the situation?
No, there's some stations that are Tesla specific, and those are fast charge stations. I'm not really familiar with the non-Tesla. I don't think they're fast charge, but they're faster than a home charge, obviously. In other words, you could probably charge it up fully within a half hour, I would think. So I guess that would be considered fast charge. I have not used one of those yet. So.
Sam,
When
there's
you go
a
to a Tesla station, do they charge you? Or does that come free with when you buy the car from them?
Oh, no. You pay for everything, Tom.
Okay.
With the Tesla station, they already have your credit card on file, so you just plug in and they charge it. Where if you went to a regular charge station, you would have to pay separately with your credit card. But
so how much
earlier models, I don't know. I haven't done it yet.
The car. If you pull into a Tesla station, how much they charge? What do they charge you to charge the car up?
I don't know because I haven't done it yet. I'm thinking about $15 to $20. But that's a guess. That's a guess. I'll be able to tell you next time I talk to you because I'm going to have it done down in Jersey. So.
Okay. All right.
I
understand.
I have to leave. If you're ever in the Orlando or Winter Park, we have a 5-bedroom home. You're welcome to stay. And
thank you.
And we'll talk over some good stuff. So I really appreciate it and look forward to next month.
All right,
Dave,
Dave,
good talking to you.
Here, Dave.
safe one.
Good night, Dave.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Supposedly, Tom, with the Teslas, you can get an 80% charge in about a half an hour.
From the charging station. Yeah.
But
I just kind of get. That's interesting. I was curious what they're charging.
New Jersey's got big news coming. We may lose our ability to have our own gas or have our gas pumped. They're talking heresy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In New Jersey,
it would only speed
you cannot
things up.
pump your own gas. You're not allowed to. The only state in the country.
We've been pumping our own gas out here in Nebraska since Hiram Scott days, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Sam.
Yes.
There is an auto dealership for Tesla about 3 miles from me.
Oh yeah.
Cherry Hill. It's a full-blown dealership. And there's an awful lot of them running around.
Oh yeah, there are.
Camden County and this whole area.
Now there are no Tesla dealerships, are there? Tesla dealerships, like there's Ford.
It's a service center, and it also that's where they take deliveries for the cars. There.
Okay, but you can't go to a Tesla showroom, say.
No. Everything's you order them online. And,
okay.
They would deliver it probably to that place that Gary's talking about. That's where you would pick it up.
But they have a regular showroom there.
Oh, they do.
Cars.
Oh
yeah.
I thought they couldn't do it.
No, bring it up on computer somehow.
Okay.
Tesla in Cherry Hill. It'll show you a place. They have a regular showroom. People go in there and talk. They got a regular shop for repairing. And
we don't have any dealerships here in Connecticut. I had to go down to New York. stuff, so.
Yeah, but I don't know,
Oh, in South Florida.
I don't know.
Shop there, but there's a showroom. They have just the models on display. I've never
Yeah.
been there, but
Well,
No. Well, I got a 2016 Jeep that I used to go on the beach, and I'm going to keep it forever.
I think down here in South Florida, that's the state car is the Tesla. Because about every other vehicle you see is a Tesla.
well, as I say, there's a ton of them around here near Cherry Hill. And the dealer's right on Route 70.
Yeah. Our local gas station's got five or six Tesla charging stations in it.
I don't know, I get,
We don't have a lot of charging stations in Detroit.
Well, if you ever get a chance,
Yeah.
take one for a drive. Take it. Because they're a lot of fun to drive. Never realized until I did that.
Well, Sam, what you could do is you could make it your mission to drive to each brother's house and take them for a drive.
Let's try.
Absolutely.
how much
But you
time
didn't
do
get a
you
test
spend-
drive before you bought it.
I'm sorry, what's that?
You didn't get a test drive before you bought it.
Oh, yes, I did.
You did, okay.
You can go to these places. I know Gary refers to them as dealers, but I guess service centers, and you can actually take them for a test drive, make it a point.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's kind of what sold me on it when I took it for the test drive.
Okay.
We have
I'll
a
walk over there
Tesla
someday when I'm out walking and stop in and see what they do. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
take a test drive.
Oh, you should really should. It would change your mind, because I had this premonition that they were slow and just really not that great. They are phenomenal.
I don't know. We've been successful with Lexus, so that's what she drives.
Good car.
Yeah.
What do you got, Gary?
What's that?
Which one
I
do you
got a
have?
2020 Lexus ES 350, and that's the fourth one we've had.
Yeah.
And mine is a GMC pickup,
Okay.
18, the Sierra.
Rosemary's got a Lexus RDX 2016.
Mhm.
We bought it early, 2000.
I have a
We bought it with
Lexus LS 460. It's a
and 15,000 miles
2010.
lease.
That's a superb car.
And
Wife, it was too big for her. The
Yeah.
ES is a lot smaller,
yeah.
but as I say, we've had four of them, and they're
Yeah,
great. The LX.
She doesn't put many miles on. This car is now a year and a half old, and it's got 2,000 miles on it.
Oh,
I've got
Time to trade it in, isn't it?
The
Mine's
last one we
18.
had, we bought it and then sold it because it was worth more, than doing that. That paid for the next car. This one, we'll have probably when we turn it in, we'll probably have about 4,500 miles on it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Oh yeah, we're going to buy it. And well, actually, I'm going to sell it to my daughter. She'll sell her vehicle and give me the money from that, and I'll give her this.
Don't take
I have
advantage.
171,000 on mine.
I got
It'll probably go 300.
this
Yeah.
is a 20, and we have about 14,000 on it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. My
Guys, it's dinner
my
time for me, so I've got to go, and I like you guys, but I like to eat a little better. So I'll say.
Well, next time, bring enough for everybody.
Yeah, Dan.
Just have.
we'll see, Bites.
Take
See
care.
you, Mike.
Okay, Dan.
Happy
Take care, Danny.
birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. See you, Ron.
Yeah. But
Guys, I think I'm gonna bail out of here too. It was good seeing you all. Thanks for setting it up. I look forward to the one next month.
okay. I'll send
We
out the,
should pick a,
like I
Here,
said,
Tommy.
pick it.
I'll send out the note next month and send out a couple of things and I'll start putting together. Send me some more pictures and stuff that you've got. Gary, you just showed me some, you know, and send me some more of that stuff and I'll put it all together as a scroll for next time.
Morris, I got a question.
We should
Morris.
pick like a subject. We should pick like a subject sometime for a meeting, something that's non-confer, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Controversial.
Controversial, thank you. Yeah, something like politics or religion or something like that. I think I'd be fighting all you East Coast guys. I'm just.
I don't know, you might be surprised. South Jersey is very different from North Jersey.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I was doing some looking up about Hiram Scott, and I never knew this, but Hiram Scott was based on remember Parsons College in Iowa?
Yeah.
This whole school was planned on that same thought process, and it was started by the guy who had run Parsons College.
Yeah.
And I never knew it was the same type of program.
Rosemary's nephew was her age, went to Parsons, and that's how she wound up at Hiram Scott, because she left the University of Miami and was looking for another college. And he said, hey, Parsons starting one out in Scotts Bluff. And so she flew out there and went to college at Hiram Scott. And when her father came out, when she graduated in '68, was the first time I met him. And he said, if we'd have known what this place is like, we'd never let her come out here. And, he told me that Westerners weren't quite socially acceptable, you know, back east. This was my first meeting with him. And I said, I understood completely, because in Nebraska, a lot of people considered Easterners rude and arrogant and not to be paid attention to. That was our first conversation. But it worked out anyway.
Did he warm up over to you?
Yeah, he did. Once we got married, I mean, he was okay. He was never that rude again. But you know, once we got married, he was great. He was never a problem again.
Cool.
So, yeah, it just
Morris.
that he had other plans for her, and I wasn't in them.
Morris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Fellow, first name is Butch, and I can't never tell you what his last name is.
Churchill.
You mentioned it earlier.
Butch.
Churchill. Was he in the fraternity?
Was he what?
Was Butch Churchill in the fraternity?
Yes. His name is
I don't.
his real name
He
is
what?
Winston Churchill. He is a real estate dealer
Winston Churchill.
in Barry, Vermont. I thought he was going to
Okay.
be on this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I just didn't remember him. Maybe he was after me.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
Yeah,
either.
well, in fact, he was at Hiram Scott twice. The first time he wasn't, and
Okay.
then the second time he was there, he pledged, and he did graduate from
Okay.
Hiram Scott in '72. Well, he was like the last class that graduated before they closed it.
Okay.
He was in the.
Okay.
He was there when they called everybody into the dorm and told them this would be the last class, and they were closing, and they had arranged to transfer their records to the University of Nebraska.
Well, that must have been devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a sad day.
Yeah. But yeah, I found him on Facebook and contacted him. And
Well,
Yeah,
we're
I
doing
tried,
pretty well. Talking to you guys, it seems like you know, most of us have landed on our feet and done
Yep.
rather well.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mhm.
Gary, I'm looking forward to getting together with you.
Well, we'll have some lunch sometime.
Yeah.
You're about an hour away from me.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well. Guys, Bob, you're there? Or are you?
I'm still here.
You've been very quiet and very still. And I wondered if maybe you had a picture that you just slid in front of the camera?
Just listening.
I'll probably look half dead tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, best of luck with your operation, Bob.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck, Bob.
So
Just
John,
do what
what's
they tell you,
happening
'cause
to
it
our
takes a while.
Steelers?
I'm
What's
sorry,
that?
Bob?
Just take,
I
do
was,
what they
I
tell you.
was
'cause it
wondering
takes
what
a
we're gonna
while.
do about our Steelers.
Wait.
I'm impatient, John. I haven't got that many more years left.
I don't think you and I are going to see another Super Bowl, Bob. If that's what you want to know.
Not with the coach we have. Nope, that's not happening.
Not with the Steelers, I'll tell you that.
Well, it sure as hell not gonna be with the Pirates. That's like
With the
watching
Eagles.
AAA baseball.
I even have a bad feeling this year again about the Penguins. I think they're going to bow out early. You're going to play the Rangers, and they never have any luck this year with the Rangers.
Don't you have anybody with superstars? No
We have a ton of
superstars?
superstars on the Penguins. They just don't seem to win in the playoffs. I don't know why.
I mean, the Penguins used to be, this is probably 15, 20 years ago. The Penguins were like dynamite. I haven't followed them in years.
No, they still have some, some really good guys. It's just they're starting to get old. Nothing seems to mesh. They haven't got past the first round, I think, in 3 years, Bob?
I'm a Red Wing fan, so I don't root for the Penguins.
Okay.
Did anybody
I-
watch
I-
the NCAA finals?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
pretty good.
It was an amazing game, that last one.
Oh,
I thought Kansas was going to kick their butt, but that certainly wasn't the case. But they did win, obviously.
Yeah. Well, Kansas, has anybody won more championships than Kansas? They've won like 11 or 12 NCAA championships now.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Going in, I think they had won 11 previous championships.
Well, they
They
have
just
to
made
do that
12.
because every other sport they suck at.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to
Football.
Nebraska football?
Yeah. Well, does Nebraska still
They
have a
joined the
football team?
Big Ten. Yeah, they joined the Big Ten. That's what happened to them.
Yeah. Nebraska, Frost City's last year if he doesn't do something special.
Yeah.
He's been blessed so far.
They
It's
did a lot of stuff.
It's a tough league.
It is.
It's a tough league.
It is. They should have stayed, where they were.
Well, that's kind of even breaking up now.
Yeah.
And then,
Any
of
of
course,
you baseball fans know it? Remember Darrell Cheney, shortstop. He played for the Braves. He played for Cincinnati.
guys,
Got
I'll be right back.
four rings. Anyway, he's one of my neighbors now. Great guy.
Nope.
No, I don't know him.
Never heard. Nope.
Well, I don't follow baseball particularly, so I didn't know him either. But
Baseball, that's an old guy's game, Bob.
well, he's old.
Still, I know.
He's our age.
They can't
That's our game
afford to
now.
lose any. They can't afford to lose any old guys because the young kids aren't watching it.
No.
They're all playing soccer, basketball, football.
Soccer. My
Yeah,
granddaughters
soccer.
and grandsons are playing lacrosse and a lot of other
Yeah,
sports
lacrosse.
out there that we didn't have.
Right.
So, yeah. But, well, I'm going to cut out. You gentlemen have a great month. And
Okay.
be safe.
Hope to see you all next month.
Take care, Gary.
Yeah, and good luck with your operation.
Thanks, Gary.
Now I gotta
Yeah.
figure
Gary,
out.
have
how
you
to
heard-
go out.
Gary, have you heard anything from Barry lately?
Yeah, matter of fact, I was talking to him 2 days ago. He said he was
How's he
gonna
doing?
be on here tonight, but when he gets his chemo medicine, then he has a couple of bad days. And
Oh, okay.
so, I'll give him a call probably tomorrow or so. And, or over
Now, is
the
he-
weekend. And,
Is he taking that for his eyesight or does he have some other problems?
no, he has cancer. He's had.
I did not
cancer.
know that.
Oh, yeah.
What kind?
Oh, I did not know that.
I think it was colon cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
And
How long
my.
has he had
he's
it?
had that for years. He's had major heart attacks.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I did not. I knew he had eye problems. I did not know the other problems.
Well, now he is blind. He doesn't drive. He doesn't
Right.
do anything. That's why he doesn't like to go anywhere or do a lot of stuff.
I can
Um,
understand that. Well, tell him I'm thinking of him.
I certainly
talk to him.
will. Yeah.
Gary, a question on that. When I
Yeah.
correspond with Barry on email,
Yes.
I increased the font size to about a 24 or something that way. Does that help him or?
Yes.
Okay,
He's not totally blind,
right.
but he needs that boost of sizes, like on a screen or something.
Yeah, whenever I, correspond with him, I boost it to about a 24 point.
But one thing I can say, he really has a positive attitude.
Yeah, he's a
And,
great guy.
yeah. And so we talk back. I have to go down and have lunch with him someday down at his house in Sewell.
Gary, let me know when you're going. I'll go with you.
Where does he live?
He lives
Where
in
does he
Sewell, New
live?
Jersey. Do you know where Deptford is, Bob? Anyway, do you know where Cherry Hill is, where I am? He's
Yeah, I have a
probably
good idea.
15, probably 20, 25 minutes from me, south.
Yeah,
Deptford and Gloucester and all that.
well, tell him we all said hello. He's
Sure,
really a
well,
good guy.
yeah, he has a lot of issues and he battles them well. I don't know whether I'd be as
Is
happy
he
as-
married? Is he married?
He's married. He's been married for almost 50 years. I'll be married 50 tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Huh? And
Happy anniversary.
oh, thank you. Thank you. And he has, his wife teaches still school. They have a daughter that lives up in North Jersey or Pennsylvania. She's moving to South Jersey with her husband and all. Then they have two other children. And so the three of them are primarily in South Jersey. So, he's still married, 3 kids. Here comes Andy.
I'm kind of curious, Gary.
Huh?
Remember he had that license, his New Jersey license plates were CSB 20, which was his father's.
Yeah,
Like, did he keep
Charles
that for all these
Bodine.
years? He kept it all.
Charles. CS,
Charles Stone Bodine.
correct. That was his middle name.
Did he
That
keep that
still is
plate?
Barry's middle name.
Did he keep that all through the years?
What's that?
Did he keep that plate all through the years?
I don't know whether he did or he didn't. That was on that black Buick. We
Yeah.
used to drive back and forth to school. And
Hi, Andy.
Hello, guys. I just got back
Mr.
from
Mr.
an hour and a half drive from Disneyland. So just amazing.
Life.
Well, good to see you, Andy. We're cutting off here.
Oh, you really?
No.
Why not? I didn't think I was going to make it, but
Yeah, you missed it. There's probably 35, 40 of us.
really, I have to see who's there. Let me see.
Everybody asks about you, Andy.
That's still one thing you can never get a straight answer from you guys.
It's got Bob Stebbins, John Ticola, Sam Blades, Bob Burrell, Morris Enyard, Andy Aveleys, Tom Jones.
Everybody
it.
else got tired of waiting.
Well, I don't blame you. I told them I wasn't going to make it.
the fact that I actually made it is surprising to me.
And the way you were driving that boat, I'm surprised you didn't wreck.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
Yeah.
It was very hot today. We had a 100-degree plus weather. I don't know what Disneyland got, but certainly over 95. It was really nasty. And I bought a scooter, one of the handheld things, because my back has hurt so much. So I got to ride in it all day, but my poor wife wore the wrong shoes and she was complaining. So we just said, and the funniest thing, you know how you say it's a really small world? My nephew, my late brother's son, was at Disneyland. I mean, who'd have thought? He hasn't been there like 10 years.
Huh.
And his grandmother, who's on Facebook, saw a post that I put. I think, John, you saw it. And then she called him and told him, and then we met together. So, and I don't see him very much. He doesn't live very far away, but you know how some relatives are. So anyway, pretty good.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, have a good month.
Gary,
Take
have
care.
a good anniversary tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, Gary.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. Have a good night.
Oh, I did miss it. Short meeting. It was only half hour, Morris.
Well, no, it's an hour and a half at this point.
What time did it start? At
8
on your
o'clock
end?
Eastern.
Oh, no wonder. Oh, no wonder it's been so long. Well, I'm glad I caught the last. John looks very good. What happened to you, John?
What do you mean what happened?
Got all his hair, a nice mustache. I'll tell you.
Hair? What's hair? Hair?
No, he's a big talker when we can't get a hold of him.
Yeah, hair today, gone tomorrow. But we did see some. I've been to Disneyland because we live out here. I've been here, and my wife's I go a lot, but she goes like every other week. We buy an annual ticket, which is $1,100 now. And yeah, it's crazy. And then, but she goes anytime. The only blockout date she has is around Christmas time. So she can go pretty much anytime she wants to go. And they give you half price parking, which is $15. It's $30 if you don't have a season ticket. And it's a crazy place because now they decided they want to make more money. So even though with the $1,000 that you pay for an annual pass, when you get to the park, they have a thing called the Lightning Line. This is new this year. Now, if you pay $20 a person per event, per visit, extra, you got the cut in front of the line. So all these people paid all this money out to be there and enjoy, going anytime they want to go. Now they're being creamed and they have to wait online twice as long. And it's not a smart thing to do to your clientele, as far as I can tell. But
yeah, because if too many people buy that, you still wait in line.
Yeah, when too many people buy, you wait in line a long, long, long time. But with that scooter, sometimes I get a priority, and I get to go up to the front. And we know the rides you can do that on. We went on Thunder Mountain today, and we went on a couple other things. But Lori was starting to feel bad, so and then all of a sudden I get this text message from my nephew. So that's Clifford's brother. You remember Clifford, John?
Oh yeah. Went too soon.
He went way too soon.
Yeah.
Very
Who is
sad.
this? Who?
My brother,
Who
my
was it?
younger brother, my brother's 7 years younger. He got a blood transfusion back in early 70s, and back then they hadn't diagnosed hepatitis C, and so they weren't searching for it, and he caught it, and about 22, 23 years later, he noticed that he was getting jaundiced. It takes about that long for your liver to degenerate from that disease. And back then they had no cure. They didn't even know what it was basically a relatively new disease. And he lived about 2.5, 3 years, and it pissed me off. Oh, we'll get him a liver, but you don't get a liver, not unless you're like, what was the name of the guy from Apple, Steve Jobs? He got a liver. He didn't live either, but that's a whole other story, a very sad story.
Yeah.
And he had an 8-year-old son John, you wouldn't believe it. Somebody on his side of the family, on his wife's side of the family, his name is Lowell. He named it after my dad. He is 6'5", I would say, 6'4", 6'5". He looks like he could be, if he wanted to contend in a bodybuilding contest, because he has an uncle that did. And he decided not to play football. He could have played football. He's just that big. So I don't know where that came from, but it's certainly didn't come from here, guys.
Yeah, your gang's pretty short.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes. You know, I don't have to watch out for ceiling fans. As a realtor, you have to be careful of that.
Andy.
Yeah.
I pulled out a photograph. I pulled out a photograph that I sent to Morris of one of the brothers and in my car in front of the house back when we went to school. And I couldn't figure out how I took that picture. Of course, I didn't turn it over. Once I turned it over, it had your print on it. It said Andy Abelese, January of '68. So it was a good photograph. Morris will show it to you one of these days when he puts it all together. But
Hey, okay, Morris, did you show the picture of the float tonight?
Of the what?
The float?
No.
Okay.
What I'm going to do, Andy, is yourself and a number of people have sent pictures in. I'm going to put them all together in for the next meeting and run a slideshow. Because I got pictures from probably 6 or 7 people.
Good. If I find any more, because we're putting new carpet in next week, I am diligently working very hard to get rid of all the stuff. They want your shelves cleaned out so they can lift the furniture. And so I decided after 25, 30 years, I'm going to clean out I just took a trash bin out the street. I swear, if it doesn't weigh 300 pounds, I'd be surprised. But they're coming next week.
300 pounds?
No, I'm on wheels. And around my waist. Not quite. You know, I told you I have Dunlap's disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, my belly Dunlap's over my belt. John, you had it too, didn't you?
I've had it for a long time.
I still have
Since kindergarten.
Morris, when you were in Scotts Bluff, didn't you work in a meat packing plant after school?
There's a Swifts out on the highway.
Yeah, there's a meat packing plant. I didn't work there. My brother did.
I thought you were there, I remember you having a steel mallet and knocking them in between the eyes to kill them.
No.
That wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me. I had 2 jobs in Scotts Bluff. One of them, I worked for the Star Herald as a sports writer.
Huh.
I did that for about 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and was really bad at it. And I finally went to my boss and I said, you know, I'm really not very good at this. You know, I'm going to quit. And he thanked me.
Yeah. You're right, man.
And I then went out and I got a job at the sugar factory and in Scotts Bluff and worked there until
out by the airport.
Quit and moved back to New Jersey.
But you didn't go back to Grand Island?
No.
You never went back to Grand Island?
Never went back to Grand Island.
And what did your dad do with the irrigation business?
Oh, he had several of them. And, you know, he would start something. Listen, I never lived, the longest I ever lived any place in my whole life was at Hiram Scott. Before that, it was 2 years.
Wow.
I went to 4 different high schools.
Holy mackerel.
And we were just always moving. He was always in the irrigation business and stuff, but the grass was always greener someplace and this wonderful deal. And, you know, so we'd pick up and move.
Well, very good. I can't say that for myself. I was only about 7 times I've moved. 6 or 7 times.
Well, we've been here in Jersey since 70.
Yeah, I've been out in California since 80.
Yeah.
And I get back to Pittsburgh every once in a while. We're thinking about going back for Thanksgiving this year, but we just saw what's going on in the airline industry. I don't know if you saw this. I saw a receipt from somebody. His flight was $580. His surcharge was $600, and there was a service fee for another $125.
Wow.
So the guy,
Fuel
The
surcharge?
fuel surcharge was $600.
Wow.
He said it was more than the cost of the ticket.
Oh, heck.
So beware, my friends.
Yeah.
You're going to fly somewhere, you ask first.
Well,
I'll call
the-
you, Andy.
Yeah,
when we
call
go
me.
on that, when we went on a cruise and at the end of July, beginning of August, we're going out of Jersey, so we don't have to fly somewhere.
Oh, that's a smart move. I have a friend of mine going right now. He's going to, I square dance, and they have square dance cruises. They have people that they dance on the ship while they're there. But I have a friend of mine going to Europe. This is the first time. I've cruised with him twice, and now they're going to Ireland, to Scotland, into England. They're going to fly out to Europe and then go down the coast. They're leaving on the 23rd. And if they hit them with a surcharge, which they're probably going to do, people are going to be really, because it's a long flight to New York and then to wherever they're going to land first. I believe it's in Glasgow.
What airline was that, Andy?
The one that I saw today, the one today. Let me see if I have it on my phone.
No, I
And,
mean, what airline was it that you were looking at the surcharge?
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I got it
Oh.
from. I'm going to look it up here.
We always fly United whenever we go anyplace.
The old story. I used to fly United, but the stewardess wouldn't let me. Sorry.
That's all right. It wasn't Frontier Airlines.
Man, all those nights I spent at the airport in Denver waiting for the fucking plane. Unbelievable.
I'm curious on the surcharge. I've got a flight coming up in about 3 weeks. And
Better
it's all
check it.
paid for. But
But you may get clobbered.
to get on the plane, they're gonna ask for that?
Don't they ask you if you have your bag overweight? So sure they'll ask you.
No. You're talking about luggage?
Yeah, if your luggage is overweight, they'll ask you for the money. You don't think they're going to ask you for money if the price of gas is ridiculous?
Yeah,
Yes, they will.
don't you think they'll do that ahead of time? I mean, they can't wait till you get to the gate. A lot of people might not have that much.
You're correct. All right, here it is. One adult flight. The flight was the total price was $893. The flight was $390, and the surcharge was $503.
What
You knew
airline?
that going in though, right?
Not telling me what airline it is. Can you see it?
wow.
Can you see anything over there
Yeah, I
at all?
see it. I see it. I just don't know what airline it is.
Well, he didn't tell me.
That's
Free cancellation. Gee, thanks.
Oh, there's Pete LaBella just jumped in.
I apologize. I'm later than I thought I would be.
Hi, Peter.
I'm also a little drunk, but don't let that bother you, Bob.
You missed
Mars.
several people.
Morris, you're looking good. I
Thank
love
you.
your.
Hi, Pete.
Who's
Peter,
winning
I just-
the hockey game?
Hey. Sokola, you're here? Which, you still can't walk?
I can't go up steps.
What can you go up?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I have a bad left knee, and my the surgery for my back still isn't totally good yet.
Wow. I've heard, by the way, my doctor said don't get surgery for your back. I'm not taking the chance. He says just live with it.
Hey, Panda, how are you? Hey, Panda.
What?
Hi.
I just came back from Disneyland. I actually just got on the call here about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
I just got on now. I was at a charity dinner.
Oh, well, thank you for doing
Hey,
that.
Pete, how are you?
Yeah,
Peter, you support hospice, don't you? Is that one of the?
I do. I support hospice and I support the arts in Harrisburg and some other things. And yes, I do. And the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank.
You know, my sister's a hospice nurse in Pittsburgh. Has been for about 15 years.
Well, my father died in hospice, and I feel a real affinity to that.
I understand.
That was a horrible thing, watching him die like that.
Yeah.
You know, well, that hospice makes it a little easier.
Yeah, I guess it does, but it was never easy.
Well, my son was in the Navy and picked up a disease while he was in the Navy and so forth. And a few years later, he was he'd been in and out of the VA hospital, and they sent him to the Naval Hospital there in San Diego because the VA hospital was full. And he'd gotten to the point where he said, you know what, I was with him in the hospital. And he said, I think I'm going to go into hospice. And he asked me if that was okay. And I told him it was his decision. And so they did everything. They unplugged him and got everything done. And talking to him, turned around about half an hour later and he was gone.
I'm sorry.
So, fortunately, he never had to go through the hospice, but he was headed in.
Yeah. My daughter's my sister is very familiar with the process, obviously.
Yeah.
She's writes up all the orders and stuff, and she pronounces people, you know, she's done it for a while.
Yeah.
But it's a real altruistic thing to do that, because you have to face a lot of like we just said.
No doubt, no doubt. Morris, I think the video you did was just fabulous. I just want to congratulate you.
Which one?
The one with your brother.
These guys don't even know about that video.
Oh, I do. I watched it twice now.
I did. Like some of you, I live in an age-restricted community, and I had the African American Club come to me because they hadn't had a meeting for 2 years because of COVID, and asked me if I could put together a short video for them for their membership. And so we worked out something and worked on it for about, probably, we actually did it very quickly for about a month and a half, and then put it out. And it was for, celebrating African American History Month. And
I thought it was great.
I put it out. But it all started because I had a book from my older brother on called Road to Freedom. And it was from a photographer that had documented that entire period and so forth. And I donated it. It was a signed, autographed copy by my brother and the other people, Bertig, that was the photographer. And so I donated it to the African American community. But
well, I thought it was well done, and you did a great job, and you should be congratulated.
Who's your buddy?
Hi, Benny. Hi, Benny.
Thank you.
Hi,
Who's your buddy? How you doing?
My puppy dog is my best friend.
Yeah, it should be for what you paid for his surgery. He should be more than a car I want to buy right now.
I did. I have to admit, I just couldn't let the son of a gun die. I just couldn't do it.
I understand.
I sat there for a couple of weeks and cried while he was in that center being helped. And I took him down to a place in Washington where they had all sorts of specialists. They had the radiologist, they had the cardiologist, they had all the, and every time they turned around, they said, "Can I have your credit card?"
Yes, sir. Right now, we had our cat. We took our cat to get a blood test. $250 for a blood test for a cat.
Well,
I said,
they never did 250 for me. Every time they turned around, it was 4,700.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
How old's the dog, Pete? How old's your dog?
9 now. He's now 9. He was 2 years old then.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He had leptotitis, which is a disease of the kidney. And then when I bought him, they said he didn't need a vaccine for that. They said schnauzers don't react well to it. and he certainly didn't how would I say, react well to the disease.
That's gonna cut down on Diane's decorating and budget.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, that didn't affect it at all. No, in fact, she's building a new 2-car garage with a pottery center over the top of it. Yeah.
I thought you were adding another. I thought you were adding another garage on.
Yeah, a 2-car garage with a pottery studio.
Oh, you added 2 more garages.
Yeah.
I sure as hell hope they roll you out of there, Peter, because you're never going to get your money out of that house.
You know, one day I'm going to just be dead. It won't matter.
Are you still in Harrisburg?
What's that?
Are you still in Harrisburg?
Oh, yeah.
Got the biggest house in Harrisburg now.
No, it's not. No.
Hey, do you get along any better with your neighbor?
Oh, yeah, he left because he went bankrupt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why he left.
Yeah, I had a neighbor, we had a 2-story house, a little bit of a hill, and our neighbor let his tree in front of his house basically go higher than my bathroom, which had a fabulous view of the entire valley. And he didn't really care much about the tree, but he told me he was going to trim it down. And I said, well, thank you, because, you know, I can't see anything. You really can't, really block my view. And he said he would do it, and he didn't do it. And then one day I went over and said, can I help, by the way, can I help you help with the tree? And he wouldn't talk to me ever since that point. About 4 months later, it was January, I remember, never forget it. We had a massive windstorm. It took the tree down.
And he didn't have any help?
No, it was bigger than me. I wasn't gonna do it. We really did. We had a tree that took it right down. Still haven't talked to him since. That was a long time ago. We've since moved.
Andy, did you live in Pittsburgh at one point? You're from New York, right?
I'm from New York, but both of my sisters live in Pittsburgh now. One lives in Monroeville. Yeah, they both live in Monroeville.
Okay.
Morris, did you get the pictures I sent you, and did you show it to the guys?
Yes, I got, well, no, I haven't shown a beat. I'm going to take all the pictures everybody's sending to me, and I'm going to put them all together in a slideshow. For the next meeting.
Did you get the newsletter also?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there was the Trailblazer, and then there was another file that had the pictures in it.
I don't know why I've saved that stuff over the years, but I've saved it. I still have the hat when I graduated, but I don't have my diploma. No diploma for me. I'm glad you're laughing, Sam. Hey, Sam, you were supposed to call me for a bike ride.
No, now Pete, I sent you an email and I told you what dates I laid out all of October. I said, let me know. I never heard back from you.
I missed
bad Pete.
Okay.
That's not uncommon, Sam. That's not uncommon with Peter.
Oh,
but I think
I want you to know, Sam, I missed the email.
I think.
How about if we do it this coming spring or fall?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sam, you got your hand in front of your lens.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You put your hand in front of your camera.
Evans checked out on this. He didn't even say goodbye.
Sam, you look a little older than you used to when you were 18 or 19.
Well, it's been 70 years, so hey.
That's normal, Bob.
Although you're keeping your age very well, Pete. Are you retired now?
What's that?
He's trying.
Are you retired? Did you sell your business?
No, I'm still working. I'm still working. I'm still I work 3.5 days a week. I sold my company.
Okay.
I got overpaid, to be honest, and I had to share some of it with the government recently.
Oh,
Yeah, in fact, it felt like a lot I had to share really, but you know.
well, you
like
called
they-
Don, didn't you call Donald for your advice, Donald Trump? You didn't you
Yeah,
have
I was
to?
thinking about that, but you know, he only paid $750. I paid about 2,000% more. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how they do that, how these really rich people do that.
You're gonna find out one day when he goes to court how they do it.
I don't think so.
He ain't never gonna get there.
I think they're all like Teflon. All of these guys. They're all full of shit.
All right. No more politics, no more politics. I'll
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Hey, guys. This is the Trailblazer. You were talking about, I got several issues of it. Somebody asked
Wow.
earlier about the candidates for graduation.
Oh, there's Barry
68.
Bodine.
Yep, and I got all the pictures here and
Oh,
so
there's Hawkeye.
I'll scan those in, and because somebody was asking who are the candidates, in 68. So I got, believe it or not, I got 4 issues of the Trailblazer still.
No, I believe it. It's somebody in there that you know.
Does
What were
anybody
those-
know?
Morris,
does it-
what were those the candidates for?
Pardon?
What were they the
Those
candidates
presidential
Oh,
candidates.
graduation,
for?
graduating.
Wow.
Oh, graduation.
Yeah, graduation. Then there's another one that has candidates for Senate, for student
Wow.
Senate, and so forth. The Hiram
I gotta
Scott
check.
baseball team. Somebody was asking about the Hiram Scott baseball team. In 68, that was the Hiram Scott baseball team.
Wow. Wow, that's special.
So,
I was reading the football schedule. I think we finished 26-14 over the course of the school's history. And maybe the last game was against Boise State. They beat them 7-3.
You knew that?
Wow.
Huh? I didn't know you knew that. I didn't know that.
And they also, when I was there in 68, they beat UNLV. Those schools have grown a little bit since.
Well, 40
since
Anderson,
68.
his name was 40 Anderson. He was very well known. Right.
That was a
Well,
basketball coach.
He was a basketball coach.
Who was the football coach?
Dick,
His name was Butcher.
Beechner.
Dick something.
Was it Dick Beechner?
Something like that, yeah.
I know.
He was.
I know that we had a Scotty that went to the AFL to the Denver Broncos. I don't remember his name, but I did watch him playing for a couple of years. That was all I
You
knew.
know, I honestly know that school saved my life.
Yeah. You
It
and
helped me.
I have a lot of people tell us that.
I can say that it was
You did, me.
one of the best
Mr.
experiences
Churchill's told me
I
that
had
a
in my
couple
life.
of times.
I owe that school a lot.
Yeah.
I wish it was still here.
I'm taking donations for the school. If you want to send over. Your home's alive. I'm sure take some donations. I'll put it in a trust fund, and I promise I'll be.
You're gonna bring it back with Marinaccio?
Oh God.
You know, he lived to be 99.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw that. I think he died in 2012. But he
no
lived to be
idea.
90. Lived to be 99.
How'd you know that?
I was looking up. I wish I'd taken some notes on professors that were at Hiram Scott College. I'm going to look that
Really?
up again, and I'll write some of that stuff down. But who was your favorite instructor or professor there, Peter?
Upton Henderson.
Yep, the economics teacher.
Economics.
And he was
Yeah.
such a prick.
Economics.
He was the biggest prick in the world, but I did love him.
You ever get hit with an eraser from him?
Oh, get hit with what?
He used to throw erasers at people who were mouthing off or.
No,
quote
no,
unquote-
no.
Oh yeah, I was there. Wasn't me. I wasn't the target, but I did see it.
He
Are you
used
sure
to
you
I
were
remember.
target?
You remember, Bob, he used to give 1A, 1B, a bunch of C's and the rest F's.
I resemble
I
that.
know,
remark.
I know in the conference room, he would start on the left chalkboard and work his way around the side, down the front and down that side. And when he got to the end of the chalkboard on the right, he knew class was over and he had about 3 pounds of chalk all over him. But
Amazing.
if there was a guy who could make economics interesting, it was him.
Yeah, it was. Did you know that he raised hunting dogs, black labs?
No.
Yeah,
No.
he had
No.
some championship labs, and he asked me to take photos of them out on North Platte. We went out on North Platte just for a few days before hunting season, and the ducks knew it because they put these little stakes in the riverbed that were attracted with ducks and everything. And he'd send his dogs out, and I was taking photographs. I don't have any of those photos left, unfortunately, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, he was, and he had some. He actually had some championship duck hunters.
I always wondered how guys like he and you remember Manley, I think history teacher.
Manley was
or the Indian teacher. What was his name?
Nagin Chef.
What was his name?
Johnny
Nagin
Williams.
Chef.
No, Johnny Williams.
Yeah, how did they get there?
Johnny,
How'd
Mr.
they
Williams.
end up there?
Actually, Henderson was from the University of Chicago.
Really?
He was a sergeant in the Marines before that.
Yeah, that
He taught at the
makes
university.
sense.
He taught at the University of Chicago.
He was a tough son of a bitch.
You know,
He was
I was
good,
looking
though.
through those, you know, most of the professors at, I call them professors at Hiram Scott, only had a bachelor's. The vast
didn't know
majority
that.
only had a bachelor's. They didn't, you know, they had very few. Manley had a PhD, you know, and a couple of others, but there were a few that had, like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 that had masters, and, you know, about 3 of them had doctorates, and everybody else had a bachelor's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
what surprised me is I was shocked. First of all, I guess you know it was $1,250 for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. And I got on the newspaper staff and the yearbook staff. My dad calls me, he says, "Hey, you got a check here from Hiram Scott for like $50 or $100 scholarship." And I said, "I didn't apply for a scholarship." "Oh no, because you were in that club that they sent you the money."
Bob, I remember when you gave me the when you graduated, you gave me the mail delivery thing.
Oh, you took my job?
Yeah, I took your job.
Yeah, that was a good job.
Yeah, it was a good job. I used to deliver the student mail after you did.
That's how I learned to wrap it.
I didn't know if you remember that.
No, I didn't remember that you took it over, but that's how I learned to wrap presents, because I had to wrap stuff from the admissions office to ship it out. But in that article I was reading about Hiram Scott, it got toward the end where the cost for a year was $2,500.
Oh my God.
And they were spending $700 to recruit each student.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took them to figure out that wasn't going to be a good economic business plan. 700 a student to recruit.
Yeah. My freshman year, I went to the University of Nebraska, because in Nebraska, if you were a resident, the university had to accept you regardless of your grades. So I went there, and they, at the end of the year, they let me go just because I didn't attend any classes for a year. It was in August, and my mom said, "Well, what are you going to do? You know, you need to do something." She said, "Here, I read about this college they're building out in Scotts Bluff. You know, why don't you give them a call and see what they're doing?" So I called them, and they accepted me over the phone.
Of course they did.
I remember my came to Cheshire Academy. "Anybody here not in college?" I go, "Yep." "Well, now you are." There it was.
You know, my mother went down to I got drafted by the New York Draft Board in Queens, and my mother took me to the Waldorf with Marinaccio there, and they accepted me immediately.
Yeah. Well, I said, I told them, I said, well, I didn't do well at the University of Nebraska. And they said, that's okay. It's not a problem.
It certainly wasn't.
I think the
Yeah,
first
nothing
year
was a
at Hiram
problem.
Scott, there was 4 of us from Nebraska that went to the
Oh, God.
college. Everybody else was East Coast, West Coast.
Were you
Very
from
few West Coast.
Ogallala? Were you from Ogallala?
Grand Island.
Grand Island, right.
Grand Island.
Yeah. Although I was born in Scottsbluff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
was
know
actually
that.
born in Scottsbluff. I lived in 8 different towns in Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. You moved a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know where, Morris, do you know where the Rosebud Indian Reservation is?
Yeah. I didn't live there, but I know what it is.
The Sandhills or something?
It's in
Yep.
South Dakota, but I don't know you know what the city is?
No, not offhand anymore.
Yeah.
I probably did at one point, but not anymore.
So what's the big surprise you showed everybody?
It was I'm going to be posting this. It's a slideshow of the brothers in 67.
Oh,
the
God.
first 2 classes, and 1 and 2, and there's a commonality among them. You can watch the video and figure out.
I'm gonna watch the
Figure out
video.
what the commonality is.
I will watch the video.
Because I'll be, I'm recording this, and I will, it'll have that in it.
Thank you.
No.
I appreciate that you've done this.
Believe it or not, my brother figured it out. My younger brother figured it out when he watched it, and he said, "Well, obviously it's this," and he was right.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go. We haven't had dinner and it's been a long day, but I'm glad I got a chance to say hi to everybody, at least a little late, but what's the next date?
The next one would be the first Thursday of July at 8 o'clock.
Very good. All right, bye-bye. Good seeing you guys.
All right, take care.
Andy, nice to see you.
Take care, Andy.
Thank you.
See you, Andy.
Pete, do you have a place down in Delaware?
I do. In
Okay,
Fenwick Island.
because
What's
I've
that?
seen, when you post things, you took your bicycle and went for a ride, and it
Yeah,
seems like you
I
were down
do.
at the shore someplace.
I'm still trying to ride and see if somebody can pick me off on the road.
Hey, I worked with a guy who got nailed. He used to go on rides like you do, 20,
I'm
30,
sure.
40 miles, and he got nailed.
And that's why I'm trying to take Sam out with me. I want Sam on the outside,
Little buffer zone.
Yeah.
I'm a bike path guy, Pete.
I want somebody
I
else
got-
to get picked
I have
off
to-
before me.
I have to check out. I've got an early day tomorrow. You guys have
All
a
right.
good night.
Best of
Where you
luck
going,
tomorrow.
Take care, Bob.
Take care.
Take
Hey,
care.
Bob. Good luck, Bob.
Have a good night. Thanks. Appreciate it. Good
I'm
night.
gonna watch your video with great care.
Yeah.
Sam,
Yes, sir.
resend me an email to plabella@Comcast. I apologize, I missed it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll
No,
do.
it's a-
Probably. It'll probably be sometime in May before I send it, though. Okay.
You send it whenever you send it, and I'll be there.
Okay.
I won't miss
All right.
this one.
All right, man. All right,
You
man.
looking good and be well.
All right, man. You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Morris, you've
Bob
done
Stebbins still on?
Pardon me? Morris, you've done a yeoman's job doing this. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
If these guys don't mind waiting 3 minutes, I'll show you that. I'll put that video up now.
Well, go ahead.
Well, if they don't mind.
No.
Yeah. Bob Stebbins, he's still there? Bob Stebbins, are you still there?
The only people here are John, me, and you. And Morris.
Everybody else left? Was it something I
Yep,
said?
they're all gone. All gone. Who else was here?
Well,
Is
there was,
John?
Ron
Sam,
Weller.
hi. All right, wait a minute here.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Brothers in the Bond. You know, we did have a good bond. There's Hawk. Has Hawk ever been on this?
no. Dan Elmo was saying he's talked to him a couple times about it, but he never comes on.
Isn't that Falk?
Yes, Curtis Falk,
Who's that?
Dale Tamburini.
Right. And there's Sam. Sam, you look a little
Yes, sir.
younger there.
Do you think?
Yeah. There's Herbie. Esposito? I think.
I'm not sure who that is.
No, that was, no, wait a minute.
Who's that? Cheryl, that was Cheryl Lackey.
That guy, no, that guy is Jimmy Sullivan.
That's
And
Jimmy Sullivan.
yeah, he was my roommate, first one there. This is John Kaufman.
Who's that?
He was a fraternity brother.
Yeah, I know that. Is that Cheryl Lackey?
No. You'll see him. He's towards the end. That was
Oh.
Les Friedman. I don't remember his name.
You know, I can't remember a
I
lot.
don't
of
remember
these
that
guys.
guy's name.
Is,
Oh,
that,
he left.
is that all? There's Panda.
Yeah,
I don't know that guy.
his name was Perry.
Okay.
Dick Walker. Steve
Where'd
Tarando.
you get- That's Cheryl Lackey.
No, that was Ed Parker.
No, that's Ed Parker now. And that's Luff
Bub Stebbins.
and Stebbins. Yeah.
His name was Gary something.
Yep.
His name I don't remember.
I don't either.
Got the name. That's Barry Bodine.
Yep, of course.
Gary Jones.
Gary Jones,
Me.
Morris.
Ron Herzog.
Yep. Hedgehog.
Severio.
Yep.
Steve Shapiro.
I don't remember him.
Rick Hirsch.
Yep.
That's Chernecki.
That is Shinaki. Hirsch and I grew up together, by the way.
Oh, okay. And that was Mike Sedlak.
Yep.
All right. And so then, it was the question of, a bond hidden in plain sight. What's the answer? All but 4 of the brothers there had that.
I wanted to share with you my favorite part of our new house,
let
and
me-
that is our outdoor
Let me kill this
entertaining area. It was super important for me to find.
and let me stop
Who
this.
was that?
That was just video.
He wasn't in school with us, by the way, John.
Yeah.
Who?
The gorgeous babe. Yeah.
So Pete, the answer to the question of what would everybody have in common is that with the exception of 4 of the brothers in that video, everybody parted their hair on the left.
Oh, wow. Is that right?
Yeah, nobody parted their hair on the right. 4 of the guys, didn't part their hair.
You know, Morris, I remember you with a lot more hair.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And you too, Sam.
You think?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't think that.
I just did it because I wanted to look like Sam. I was hoping that would get me a Tesla.
I actually, I think I started losing it in school, to tell you the truth. I think it was thinning back then even. I think it was thinning.
I don't
For the longest-
remember that, Sam.
Well, for the longest time, I wouldn't admit it, and I would flip it over. So
I
maybe that
don't
was a little bit.
remember that.
Maybe that was a little bit later. I was
I
pretty
don't
good
think-
looking though.
You have your hand in front of your camera, Sam.
Oh.
Now you
Oh,
are.
there you go.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Is it cold in your house, Sam?
Yeah, I keep it at 60.
It looks that way because you have a big sweatshirt on.
Ah, it's cold up here, Pete.
Were you in Connecticut, Sam?
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut. Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's really warm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're almost
Is it
like
really?
Florida. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's rainy and shitty here.
Well, it is at the Jersey Shore too.
It is.
Yeah, it's
John?
rainy here too.
However,
Oh, God.
we're
Yeah.
headed towards some 60 and 70-degree days next week.
Can't wait for that to happen. My wife said to me, we should rent a place in Florida for 6 months. And we got a whole thing, and I said, I really don't want to go there.
Yep.
I just have no, I can't deal with it.
Yeah. Florida's too hot for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work. We should send Sokola. He's old, he has a bad back.
Too many bugs.
What's that?
Too many bugs.
Bug.
I don't think John's going anywhere.
Did you,
I
did
think
they
John
operate
had to
on
get a
your,
visa to leave the state.
they operate on your back yet? John,
What's that?
did they operate on your back?
Yeah, about a couple months ago.
And
I'm still doing rehab.
What'd you do, John?
Oh.
Have a spinal fusion or?
Yeah, it's supposed to take a year.
Yeah, my father had a spinal fusion. It must have been about 61, 62. And because the doctor told him, he said, I think we ought to do this. And he said, but I got to tell you, because they were brand new at that time, he said, there's about a 50% chance that you won't walk out. And
oh, God.
so, but he said, if you don't, there's a 100% chance that within 2-3 years, you're not going to be walking anyway. And
Yeah.
so he did it, and it took him about a year. He wore a brace for almost a year, a back brace. And about a year and a half later, he was fine. So,
Well, I got my fingers crossed. Pain's
I'm-
gone, but
I'm gonna cross mine for you too. I mean, we gotta go to a Super Bowl together.
oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, when the Giants make the Super Bowl, you and I are going together.
I'd
Yeah.
say that about the Steelers, but I think we're going to be dead before then.
Oh, God. Well, what about the Giants, man?
maybe,
Oh, the Giants, they have the money.
yeah, John,
they have
maybe
the
at that
money.
point, you'll be able to get season tickets.
They've
My
been
son-in-law's
awful
been on
bad.
the waiting list for 20 years for
Oh,
Steelers
God.
tickets.
For Steelers tickets.
Yeah, he's been on the waiting list for season tickets for 20 years.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm
John's
giving
had
mine to my
Steelers.
daughter.
Pardon?
You get,
I'm giving my Steeler tickets to my daughter. She wants them.
No, that's what
Which
happens.
one?
Everybody passes them down.
Yeah,
which daughter are you giving them, to Jill or Mandy?
Mandy. She showed an interest. She wanted them, so.
You're a good man. You're
You know,
a
I
good
think
man.
that the seat licenses are up to
The things we do for our kids, huh?
15,000.
How much?
Really?
I think it was 16,000 I could have got if I sold them on the market.
All right.
Wow.
Now here's Pittsburgh and Rutgers compared. I had 3 season tickets at Rutgers for all 3, and they're good seats. It's $1,500.
Why Rutgers? Did you
Huh?
go to Rutgers? You go to
I got my
Rutgers?
doctorate at Rutgers.
Wow. I went to Rutgers in lovely downtown Newark.
Yeah. Well, I was in New Brunswick campus.
I should have been there too.
Yeah.
Downtown Newark with no mean feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. I am sure. All right. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to head out. You guys are welcome to stay on.
Morris, you've
Hey,
done a
thanks.
hell of a job, and
Thanks for putting it
congratulations.
all together, Morris.
Yep.
I'm sorry I was
Well,
late.
Thanks a lot, Morris.
Hope to see you next month. And
Be well.
I'll just
Okay,
leave
well-
this on. You guys can talk as long as you want.
No, I'm
It's my
heading out.
bedtime.
Yeah, I got to get going
It's my
too.
bedtime. Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
Hey, we'll see you guys.
All right.
See you,
Bye,
Pete.
guys.
Take care.